Hi, this is Liz again, and today I have kind of a different video for you. Recently I was using a makeup palette that I had gotten at Christmas time, and I was thinking, around Christmas time there's this virtual, orgasm of makeup palettes and kits and gifts at Sephora that you can get, and so many people get them and talk about them and love them, and then all through the months later, I don't know, I never really see much about them anymore, and there's so much great stuff that comes out, and everybody's like loving it all at the moment, but because there's always so much new stuff coming out, whether it's drugstore or high end, and people are just getting more and more and more, I very rarely see videos that revisit those Christmas palettes that we bought at the time because we loved them. So I thought it would be kind of cool to do a little video doing just that, revisiting the Christmas palettes that I got, because I did get a few. I had the good fortune to be able to do that. And so I just wanted to kind of talk about them and revisit them because I know I use mine rather frequently. Um, I put myself on a bit of a program, which is funny. It's like, makeup addiction. They should have an MA group for makeup addicts like us. But make a long story short, I was watching another woman's video who's wonderful. She is Sugar Puff and Fluff. She's an older woman. She's Polish, but she lives in London, and she's wonderful. You should watch her sometime. Sugar Puff and Fluff. But she gave me the idea, again, long story short, she gave me the idea to just pick a palette a week, thereby making sure you're using all your makeup and not just your favorite palette. Because I know I do, and you people probably do, have a tendency to just kind of use what we love and what we feel like works. But since I've been doing this palette a week thing, palette of the week thing for the last couple months, I love it. And I've been forcing myself to grab for ones that I liked the least because that's just how I am. Like I'm making myself use the makeup because I feel like I paid for it. I need to be using it. And you know, the greatest thing has happened. It's been a wonderful surprise. For instance, everyone loves the Nude palette. This is just to illustrate the point. The Nude palette. I didn't like it. I got it. I got it because of the packaging, which I hate to admit, I'm embarrassed about that, but I did. I couldn't bear to not have that really vintage looking palette with the naked girls. Ugh, it's too much. So I bought it thinking, well, for the packaging, but knowing I used eyeshadow as well. And as I got it and played with it, I didn't really like it. And it wound up at the bottom of my palette drawer. Well, since this palette of the week thing, I pulled it out, and as it turns out, it is now one of my favorites. I found some amazing looks out of it. It's great eyeshadow, and I'm so pleased. So that is what I've been doing, is palette of the week. And by doing that, I have been using my Christmas palettes, and it's such a great little system that you can put yourself on. And you end up using all the makeup that you've paid for. None of it just sits around not getting used. So with that said, the first one I'm going to talk about, at the time I didn't realize it was like a Christmas palette, and I believe it's still for sale on their site. It's the Urban Decay Vice 3. Mine's really dirty and full of fingerprints because I use it all the time. Now, this palette, like I said, I bought it not really realizing it was like a Christmas palette, and I'm not even sure now if I think it's a Christmas palette, but it came out at Christmas time, and everybody else on YouTube was buying it, and everybody else was loving it. And I loved it then, and I love it now. What I want to show you guys, ooh, I better cover up that mirror, huh? What I'd like to show you is, if you don't have it, this is what it looks like. If you do have it, you kind of are familiar with it. I just want to say this row right here with the maroons and the one with Sonic in it, all four of those shadows going up are to die for. Now, after being into makeup for a while now, I've come to understand that, the maroon isn't, these maroon colors aren't the most unique colors in the world, but this color Sonic is actually quite unique. And then this color Alien up here, which is something I've always wanted to talk about. Where is it? Right there, the pink color. That's an interesting eyeshadow. When you look at it in the pan, it just looks pink, like straight up pink. And I don't really wear pink eyeshadow, so I never really touched it much. And then one day I thought, you know, screw it, I'm gonna try it. So I tried it out, and as it turns out, when you swatch it, let's see if it works right now. When you swatch it, it looks pink, right? It just looks like pink eyeshadow. To me, kind of boring, kind of meh. But then you swatch it. There's no way my camera's going to pick this up because I don't have a very good camera, as I'm always saying. It's got a total duochrome. The camera's not going to pick it up. Little bit, but not really. It's got this total golden duochrome. Absolute. It's almost like it's two colors in one. It's pink and gold. And when I say duochrome, I don't mean like it kind of is. It just has a shift. It's actually straight up gold in one light, and then pink in another. And perhaps that's why it's called Alien. I don't know. But point is, it's an amazing eyeshadow and an amazing color. And I think that overall, this was an awesome palette, and the brush that came with it is actually quite nice, and I use it all the time. Now, the next one I want to talk about is by Tarte. It's this. It came with the, oh gosh, what was it called? Bon Voyage. Bon Voyage set. And it came with a few other items, a couple of lip products, a smooth operator, little sample powder, and I think a mascara, and then this, all of it inside of this fancy makeup bag with the same pattern. Now I know a lot of girls got this, or people got this, because it was all over YouTube back then. I have not seen it since. The only place I've seen it is Holly Eats YouTube. Holly Eats YouTube. Holly Eats Lipstick did a video doing a look from it, I don't know, sometime in January, I want to say. But anyway, this one I've had such mixed feelings about. Now, it look like this, right? Looks like this. It came with one of those stupid plastic inserts that had the name on it. Inserts that have the name on it. And what I did was I glued it. See that? I don't know if you can see in there the little names. I glued the sheet on there so that I would know what I was using when I was using it. Now, I love Tarte. We all love Tarte, right? Maybe not. I love Tarte. I don't know if you do. It's a great company. They have great products. Their ingredients tend to be clean and nice and good for you and not toxic. And overall, I just really love Tarte. I own a lot of different makeup items from Tarte. These, however, I feel like were not the best thing in the world. I don't know if it's because they sort of like, I mean, it's all mass produced, but like mega quickly mass produced it for Christmas or what, but I have tried, you guys. I have tried on several occasions, and so far, these shades up top, which are all different shades of purple, are the only kind of decent ones I have found for me. I feel like they don't blend very well. The shadows that are supposed to be somewhat sparkly aren't, like, at all. Um, and what I mean is, when I put them into the crease, do you ever get that thing where you can see the skip marks where it didn't like blend smoothly over? It sort of did the skippy thing. These do that really bad. And a lot of the colors, they look quite different in their pans, but a lot of them end up being quite similar to each other. Now, this isn't a terrible palette. Um, it's okay. And having said that, everybody right now is raving about the Tartelette palette. It's an all matte, I don't know, 25th anniversary Tarte palette, something like that. And it's all over YouTube, and everybody's loving it. Now, I had the opportunity to get it when it first came out, and I went to Sephora and I looked at it and I played around with it. And you know what? They're nicer than this, for sure. The quality of the shadows, they're more buttery, and they seem like they blend easier, and they swatch nicely. But at the same time, I feel like if you look at the Tartelette palette and you look at this, especially that top row up there, or the first two top rows here, are so similar to that Tartelette palette that I just couldn't justify buying it, you know, especially when I didn't absolutely love these. And so I didn't get the Tartelette palette. And maybe I'll be sorry, but I saw on Lip Gloss Leslie's website, she did a video where she got it and she loves it as a companion palette. And I don't want to pay $50 for just a matte companion palette. I have the little Sonia Kashuk $20 palette from Target. It's called Eyes on Neutral, and it's all mattes, and that is what I use for a companion palette, and I love that. I think more than I love the Tarte eyeshadows. So I do use this because I force myself to use it in my palette of the week thing. I do pull it out because it comes up on rotation, and I did buy it, and I am going to use it. It's not awful, but the ones I end up using are the purples up top, and that's kind of all, which is kind of a bummer because there's a lot in here. So yeah, this is just kind of meh. Now, I wonder what other people's feelings are about this now that it's been some months and we've used it. How do you guys feel about this? Is this working out for you? Not so much? I would really like to know because I'm curious. Same thing with the Vice palette, and the same thing for all of this, because the next two things I'm going to talk about are also something that I love and another one that I didn't love. And I'm very curious about other people's experiences. So the next one I love. I love, I love, I love, I love. And it is this. It is the Too Faced Everything Nice palette. Um, Call me crazy, but I don't love the packaging. Everybody loves the packaging. And I usually love Too Faced packaging, like in any kind of, well, anyway, if you ever ask me who does the nicest packaging, hands down Too Faced. I love everything they do, but this is okay. It's a little fur for me, but anyway, that's not what matters. It's the glory on the inside. So let's open up this box of joy. Now, lots and lots and lots of people bought this at Christmas because it was all over YouTube. So I feel like it's safe to assume that a lot of you people have this and are familiar with it, so on and so forth. In case you are not, that is what it looks like. What I just showed, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my God, I can't do the math. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That can't be right. 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh my God, I'm terrible at math. That's embarrassing. There's 20 eyeshadows in here. 20 glorious, awesome eyeshadows. And then we have cheek products. There's 2 blushes. They're Chocolate Soleil bronzer and an illuminator called Inner Light. The blushes are called Sweet Pink right here and Papa Don't Peach. Okay, and it came with these little brushes right here. What I want to say about this is that it's awesome. It's awesome, and I love when this comes up in the rotation because I never have trouble finding awesome looks from this. I really try and spread it around and use all the colors as best I can because there's so many in here and they're all so wonderful and you can just do so many looks with this. One of my favorites, despite the fact that it's all Fallout crazy, is this one right here called Marvelous. If you just look at it in the pan, it just looks like it would be like a sparkly silver, but once you have it swatched, it has a real faint purpley mauve color to it that's just beautiful. And yeah, it has Fallout all crazy, but you know what? It's a bit messy, but you can clean it up, and the end result, excuse me, it's a little bit more work, but the end result is beautifulness. So I deal with the mess and the fallout. That's definitely one of my favorites. And then, of course, there's Girly, the blue-brown duochrome that we all love, which, by the way, there's a really good dupe for that in the Wet n Wild palette. In case you people don't know, the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone, which also a million gazillion people have, there's a dupe for it, for Girly. And actually, I kind of like the Wet n Wild one better because I love Girly, don't get me wrong. Let's swatch it for fun, huh? I love it. Of course, my camera's not going to do it justice, not at all. Anyway, sort of turquoise brown duochrome gorgeousness. And the one in the Comfort Zone palette by Wet n Wild, instead of being turquoise, is more like this is more green turquoise, and the Wet n Wild one is more of a blue turquoise, and it's just beautiful, and it's so cheap and so accessible. So yeah, dupe early in the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. Now, something that bums me out about Too Faced, albeit I love Too Faced. I am a Too Faced girl all the way till the day I die. Love, love, love Too Faced. But I find they always put really pale blushes into their palettes. Like, I can't use either one of those, you know. I am half Puerto Rican and quite dark, and the blushes that I end up picking and loving and using are quite deep, and it's often like deep reds and mauves, and I can't, if it's a real hot bright pink, like I can get away with sweet pink if I kind of pile it on, but who likes to pile blush on? That's never a good look. And then Papa Don't Peach, if anything, is a straight up um, highlighter on my skin. Let's swatch it. Ooh, this is what it looks like. It's like, to me, it's terribly ugly. It's I shouldn't say that, but that's my opinion. I don't find it attractive. It's right there on the bottom. It's a pinky peach. And if you've watched any of my other videos, which there's not that many yet, but I'm putting up more and more, I don't like peach blush. I cannot stand it. I feel like I'm not going to go into it because so many people love it. It is not for me. I don't like it, and I don't use it. And Too Faced puts peach blushes, like pale and peach blushes, in all their stinking palettes. So yeah, the two blushes are way too light. And I'm dark, but I'm not like super dark. So, you know, women of color definitely couldn't get away with those. And the Chocolate Soleil bronzer, in the winter when I'm paler, definitely can use it. More than anything, it works as a contour shade for me when I do contour. I tend not to because I don't need to. Not that I'm blowing my own horn, but I kind of have hollows going on, and I don't know, it's just kind of like more work than it's worth for me, but I will do it sometimes when I'm feeling it. And this is actually, I do like the highlight. This is what it looks like swatched on my finger. Look, it's pretty already, you can see. Let's see if it will swatch okay. I don't know if it will or not. Should be right there. You can't see it really. There it is. You can kind of see. Look how pretty. It's just a nice pinky golden highlight. So the highlight is really wonderful. And then as far as the brushes go, in a pinch they'd work. The liner brush I definitely like. I don't love like paddle brushes like that. If anything, I use them to pack out color onto my lids, but I don't really use them. And then this big brush, I suppose you could use it to, again, in a pinch, to contour or blush or whatever, but, you know, I don't know. They're adorable, and it's nice that they put them there, but I don't really use them. And again, in a pinch I would. So that is the Everything Nice palette. I feel like I talked about that for way too long, and I love, love, love this. So what do you guys think? Did you guys get this at Christmas? Do you still use it? Do you love it? What are your favorites? Did you not like it? I'm curious to know, because I know a lot of people got that one. Now, the next one I want to talk about, I have this one real small thing I want to talk about, and then I'm done talking. Now, I didn't keep the packaging. Okay, I'm just probably going to get assassinated for this. But the Too Faced La Belle Carousel, it took me a long time to finally get it because there was so much, there was just so much stuff to buy. I didn't know which one to get, and I had already bought a bunch, but I wound up caving and I bought it. Not because of the packaging. Now, this is what I'm going to probably get assassinated for, and that is, I kind of couldn't stand the packaging. I thought it was like, you know, it was cute and everything, but I don't know, it wasn't really my style. It was just like a little too much. I love glitter. I loved the pink glittery top thing, but I don't know, you guys, it just wasn't my thing, the packaging of it. So, also aside from that, I have very limited room as far as storage of anything in my life goes. Between me, my fiance, and all the kids that are in and out of this household. Oh my God. Oh, and 3 cats, 3 lovely, awesome kitty cats, and a big, huge garden in the back. There's just like so little room for much of anything. But recently, my fiance bought me a new vanity from the 1930s with a great big round mirror and all the original hardware still on it. It's beautiful. So I'm hoping I can film at that because it's just so lovely, but I haven't figured that out yet. Anyway, um, I threw out the packaging on it because A, I kind of couldn't stand it, and B, I just didn't have room for that big hunky chunky dunky thing, and I wanted to store the little palettes and drawers. Now, what I have kept are the only things I kept were the eyeshadow and the mascara. I gave away the no, I kept one of the, okay, so they looked like this, right? The little separate palettes. There was 3 eyeshadow palettes like this, and then there was, I think, one of these that had, 2 of these that had a bronzer and a highlighter and or like a blush and bronzer. I don't know. All I know is I kept the one that had the milk chocolate soleil in it because that I will use. But I did give to my fiance's mom the one that had the blush in it, and it was another peachy, sparkly, shiny thing that I didn't like / wouldn't even show up on my face. So I gave her that because I love Too Faced products and she loves makeup too, and so I wanted to share Too Faced with her because she had never used anything by them before. And I'm talking so much in this video, I gotta get to it. Um, so these are the 3 eyeshadows. The point of this whole thing is these stink. These, not good. These just not good quality Too Faced. Shame on you because I am a loyal devotee and I love Too Faced, but these, I still, to this day, I'm sorely disappointed because these come up in my rotation and I have to use them because I have them. Now, there is one of these that I use more than the others, and that is the neutral one, and it looks like this. And this color, Haute Chocolat, excuse me, not Haute Chocolat, this is Yule Log. Haute Chocolat is this one right there. Again, the camera doesn't know justice, it just looks like any other brown in the pan, but it's gorgeous. It is a beautiful, beautiful brown, and I do use this. I use this palette a lot. This one, I actually used on Christmas Day when we went to my fiance's mom's house. She always has a party every year on Christmas Day, and we go, and I wore this. And I used Christmas tree and Santa's boots and frost. Now, I used primer and everything. I put this on the way I always put makeup on, and my makeup is always there at the end of the day. It never moves around. Within a few hours, this color right here, Christmas tree, that green color, was totally faded, like barely even there anymore, and everything had sort of faded into each other. I did this whole eyelet for Christmas Day, and there was nothing there within a few hours, literally, and I couldn't believe it. It was like worse than drugstore eyeshadows, so these were a great big disappointment. Now, I know that Holly Eats Lipstick returned hers and got the Everything Nice palette in its place because she also didn't like the quality of these. So I don't know. I'm curious if this palette worked out for other people. I'm really curious to know if you guys got this and if it worked, if you loved it, if you hated it. Um, I'm curious. And I will never be like, oh, why are you being so negative? Because that's a part of life. Like, you can't have, wonderful without the terrible. And it's just not possible. Um, so I feel like it's totally okay to say something, even if you hate it. Say I hate it or I love it, whatever. Anyway, the last thing I want to talk about is this teeny little palette that I bought at Christmas, and it was from the Christmas before. It was like leftover from. Is that did it what? Is that right? Was this from last? No, it was from the Christmas before. It was from Christmas 2013. And it's the iPhone case thing. I don't have an iPhone. And I probably wouldn't use this case anyway because it's like, there's no protection there. But it is gorgeous nonetheless. Look how pretty that is. And this is the palette. And what I want to say about this thing rules, man. I love this thing. And I use this a lot, and I have used it a lot. And the quality of these is awesome. I think this was on sale. I think I bought it for like 10 bucks. It was a sale right before Christmas. Oh, maybe even 5 I bought this for. Either way, this was such a steal. They've been on their website, I think even up until now still. It's like they're just trying to get rid of them. If you see these anywhere, I highly recommend this. There was this one and like another one with a different design and slightly different shadow colors, and they're both called Jingle All the Way, I believe. This one's called Jingle All the Way. I think the other one is too. I don't know. Either way, they're totally awesome, and if you see these anywhere for whatever reason, like on eBay for really cheap, or I don't know, all cosmetics wholesale, I highly recommend them. It's really small, it pops right into your purse, and the shadows are buttery and beautiful, and there's matte as well as shimmer, and they're just gorgeous. And it's got the little shades up top, these two all over shades. This is a bronzer, which is absolutely way too light for my skin. I don't know, maybe I'd use it as an eyeshadow or something. And this hot pink blush, which actually does work for me. You know, I would use it in a pinch. I'd probably blend it with something, but it is a decent blush, and it's just a great, great, tiny, tiny little palette. So now that this video is, let's see, 26 minutes long, oh my god, that is all I wanted to say. But I have been really curious to know if you guys are all using your palettes that you bought at Christmas and what you think of them now that it's been, you know, several months later, and how you feel about how they perform and how they wear, and if you're glad you bought them or not, or what. So I would love it if you left any comments or questions or anything you want to say down below. I would love to read your thoughts, and I would ask that you please subscribe if you want to. I don't think I have any subscribers yet, but I would love it if I could have some. I know I'm subscribed to a lot of girls. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Adios.